Shalom, shalom. Like to start out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS and salutations to the elect brothers pushing this truth. All right, as we continue to go through these days of judgment, all right, the whole world is being judged, but as Israel continues to live out their punishment for disobeying the Lord and just being dishonorable, we see a lot of suffering. All right, we see that the young man went on a boat trip with his white tee friends and didn't return. That's a part of judgment, man. You know, it's gonna get swept under the rug too, because the scriptures speak about our people being persecuted, and there shall be no justice that comes to it. And like I said, the whole world's being judged, so we dealing with two foes: the judgment of Israel and the judgment of the whole earth. When you look at the world in today's times and what's going on, you got storms that's putting whole cities out of commission, power outages, because storms don't necessarily just mean flooding. All right, you got down trees, you got power outages. All right, you got severe fires from the lightning storms. It's a lot of things going on in the world right now. And it's speaking of that in Isaiah chapter 13 about all the things that's happening in a succession, meaning that it's constantly happening. You know, you got the Legionnaires disease out right now. All these things is in a succession of disasters. All right, and it says, like in Isaiah 13, it says in verse 8, and they shall be afraid, pains and sorrows shall take hold of them. Right, so every time you turn around, there's something, it's some type of tragedy. So those pains and sorrows is taking hold of them, meaning that it's always a constant feeling of sorrow and anguish. Like, damn, this happened, that happened. So in verse 8 it says, and they shall be afraid, pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. Right, so that pain when a woman is travaileth is a woman that's going through contractions during labor, delivering a baby. Every few seconds, it comes back in succession, like back to back, you know, and they get worse. The pains get worse before the baby just is about to be delivered, or labor. The labor pains, the contraction pains get worse the closer it gets to being delivered. And that's what we're dealing with right now. Some situations be more severe than the others. Like just yesterday, they came across in Manhattan a building that was buckling. That's not as severe as it collapsing, but it still caused a mass panic and mass evacuation. People were displaced out of their homes. You know, caused a big scare. They were afraid, like it says, and they shall be afraid. Pains and sorrows shall take hold of them, because they didn't know what they was going to do. All right. And they shall be in pain as a woman travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. Right. So everybody is going to be amazed at the drama that's unfolding, all the catastrophes and things that is back to back. Like every day, it's a new situation. The building buckling, it didn't collapse, but it's still something that's happening on a regular basis. Just the other day, the trees was crashing into the subway system, trains and shit. That's not normal. Those things don't happen. You know, the storms is kicking up. Like I said, the building buckling, it didn't cause no catastrophes, but it's still a major event. You know, and their faces shall be amazed, all right, shall be as flames. All right, they shall be amazed and one to another, and their faces shall be as flames. That's the ultimately when when them nukes hit, they gonna really be lit. Their faces really gonna be aflame. You know, you're gonna see bodies running down the street on fire. You know, that hasn't come yet, but it's coming. You know, and these situations that the world is facing right now is a part of judgment. You know, it's coming down on the world on a high level at a continuous basis. You know, but for right now, on that building buckled, they was displaced, but they was able to go back home. They get a sense, people get a sense of, okay, yeah, now it's cool, but they not realizing that these things are coming at a constant basis to ultimately lead to the world's judgment when the Lord returns. All right. And here in First Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 3, it says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them." Right. So they saying, okay, yeah, we y'all could go back to your homes and it's peace and it's safe, but Lord, what you never know that the next event could be right around the corner. Sudden destruction. All right. So that peace and safety that y'all saying right now could turn into sudden destruction. All right. Like it says, as travaileth upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So this prophecy is saying that they shall not escape. That means that the world shall not escape. They shall not be displaced and go back to their homes. All right. The storm is not going to succeed like how it did in the last couple of days when the trees were being blown off the roads and on the roads and everything went back to normal to them. But the time is going to come when it's all going to be sudden destruction, man. Like a woman that travaileth, all right? And there shall not be no, and they shall not escape. So these things that's to come is not going to be like it's a fly-by-night situation or it's a small amount of casualties. These things that's to come is you're not going to escape it. There's nobody that's going to say peace and safety. You know, this thing that the Lord doing when He returns is a whole reset. It's a whole turn upside down. You know, flip the table over. Everybody's going to be affected by it. All right. So Lord willing, I hope that was edifying. Until next time, Shalom.